you're a sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen around the world. Up next we have after dinner speeches. Now what exactly are after dinner speeches? After dinner speeches are speeches that frankly happen after dinner, hence the name. I know, crazy right? But in this dinner, it's more of a formal dinner where all the people around the table are the audience and they all share a common interest. There may be anything from colleagues to anything else you can think of. Now the audience must be addressed. And frankly, they are imaginary, but they can be anything the speaker chooses. Anything from aliens to vampires to even animals, as long as they have the ability to speak. One important thing to remember is that after dinner speeches are not exactly a stand-up comedy routine. So right now we'll head straight on to the after dinner speeches, done by Jadin Jordaan and Michael Gurney.
Good day all, and thank you. Yes, that's the first thing I'm going to say because I really mean it. Thank you. It's been a hard few months for me, and your generous contribution has helped immensely with this cause. We have raised 10,000 Rand. You heard that right, 10,000 Rand. To say thank you, I'm going to be telling you what you actually donated to, because that's a semi-important detail. Ladies and gentlemen, you have helped to save the world. You have contributed to a program against the tyranny of today's society, against a raging sea of selfish greed, because you have helped save the Hats Foundation. Some of you might not know the plight of hats today, but when you see it, it's remarkable. Think back. How many people do you see wearing hats nowadays? None. And even if they are one or two, were they wearing the near extinct top hat? I think not. In time, you will realize that this once great species has been drifting to oblivion, and that we need to do something to save. My program will be specifically focusing on pork pie hats. These hats are so rare, I'm sure you don't even know they exist. They were a once popular breed, and their population grew as Martin Scorsese did, with actors like Robert De Niro expressing support for the species by wearing them on their head. Now, however, there are barely any left in the wild. They have gone virtually extinct. It is truly, truly saddening. The few pork pie hats left today are only bought by people who think they're fedoras, or people that want to satirize their greatness. Or, even worse, they're just like pork pies and really misunderstood the situation. Either way, we're in a pork pie crisis, hat lovers. But you don't have to fear. Thanks to your significant contribution, which you definitely all made because you love hats and not because the title of the fundraiser was Save Them, I'm able to create a rehabilitation center. I myself have about 10 pork pies, which I dearly hope is enough genetic diversity to allow for a growth of new species. I will create a safe space in the wildlands of Kenya, their natural habitat, and begin anew. Thank you, everyone. You've saved the species. I know some of you might ask, why hats? And, well, honestly, you're right. Hats aren't valuable in today's age, and their extinction might as well be justified, because all they do is eat up valuable resources and make people look ridiculous, unless you're in an 80s gangster movie, which, thanks to Scorsese, is bound never to happen because the market is just so saturated. But I want to help. Things are going wrong in this world, and I want to remove one of those problems. I might not be tackling racial injustice or gender violence, but and I hope all of you, are helping in the small ways. Not everyone has to create grand, sweeping reforms, because if everyone did, there'd be chaos. Making your friends feel happy, helping out at animal shelters, saving the hats, those are all valiant actions, and simply being small actions does not invalidate them. You can fight big or you can fight small. You can tear down the system and create a new one from scratch, a better one. Or you can rehabilitate pork pies for no discernible reason. Do good things, but don't push yourself to become a saint if you can't. We all help in our own ways. Just make sure the next time you do it, you're wearing a top hat.
Up the pie.
goeienaand, tumela, hawe, bra. And how are you all doing? Welcome to flight C747, bound to land in South Africa, hopefully. I, as your one and only fighter pilot, shall bring you great news. People of Toxic Land, it is time to land in the most infamous country of all, South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome 6 special guests onto our flight tonight. Number 1, the pessimist. Number 2, the manipulative one. Number 3, the fake complimenter. Number 4, the abuser. Number 5, the toxic person. Person who sets bad example. And of course, number 6 will be myself. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that tonight you've all been going through serious problems in toxic world, but please could I kindly ask that you do not bring it to our country of South Africa. I believe it is time that no, Mr. Manipulative Person, you realize that you are a person at the end of the day. No matter what you're going through, no matter where you come from, no matter what race, gender, ethnic background, or economic status, you can make a difference. We understand that in this world right now, you're bringing us these toxic things. But I, as a victim, can say for one, that it's time to bring this to an end. No, Mr. Fake Complimenter, I'm not looking the best tonight. I understand that my hair is a mess, but it's because it's lockdown. What do you expect me to do? The barbers aren't open. Oh, and Mr. Pessimist, I know I'm definitely going to land the plane. Oh, and Mr. Critic, don't worry. I have my qualifications of driving. I should be fine. No, ladies and gentlemen, we need to realize that in this flight, we have rules. These rules are pretty simple. Just hear me out. I, as a victim, have experienced them. Number 1, smile. At the end of the day, it takes nothing to smile, and it goes the furthest in terms of people. A simple smile to a stranger can change your life forever. Number 2, why don't we realize that we are one kind, the human kind? Our differences shouldn't take us apart. They should bring us together as one people. And 3, be yourself in this world that demands you of being someone else. We understand that you toxic people come from toxic land in this toxic world. But we also understand that if we come together as one, before we land in South Africa, we can make a difference for the good. Because here in South Africa, we do not accept toxic people. It is time the fake complimenter becomes a compliment in a positive manner. If you don't have anything to say that's positive, please don't say anything at all. It's time the critic becomes one that is positive, that I, as the victim, have had enough. It is time I'm standing up for myself. And if I can't change you, I know for sure I will change myself for the better. Because at the end of the day, you realize when you land in South Africa, you land in a rainbow nation.